Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, when you get tired of grabbing the brisket, just tune in to the Grabbing the Brisket podcast show.
100%. Can we go back to just our intro music? Such people that can create this type of stuff. Don't do it.
No?
But people that can create this kind of we so obviously we had this created for us on Fiverr, and if you're looking for stuff to be done, go to Fiverr. There's plenty of artists, plenty of people that are doing badass shit, and it's kind of inexpensive, right? Because they're getting paid per job and whatever.
Right.
Remember the very first cut we got of this?
We have to have that somewhere. It's so damn funny.
We need to play
I
the
think
very
we still have
first cut we got.
Somewhere,
Sound
right?
like some
It was
90s sitcom.
Yes.
Full House.
You have that, right? If you have that, we need to find it. I want to.
Dude,
We should play that for our 200th episode intro.
Such a difference between this and that, and every time their song plays, it gets better and better. It's just a good intro. You know what I mean?
They did a
Yeah.
good job.
He
I don't know
did-
who the hell it was,
He
but
did
they
a
did a
great
good
job.
job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
More credit to him.
Yeah.
I guess.
There it is.
Whoever it was.
That's all I wanted to say.
Well, thank you for tuning in to the Grabbing the Brisket podcast. I know there's 500 murder mystery podcasts out there that's just riddling the world.
All whodunits.
Everybody just wants to learn about
I wonder
people
who
getting
done it.
murdered or how to get away with murder.
Yeah.
And you found Grabbing the Brisket. So, hey, thank you. We appreciate it so much. Let's dive right into it. So, today, it's all about the competition ribs.
Comp ribs.
So
Ribs.
last couple of weeks, we did a lot of just that very extensive
A lot of weeks.
weeks of just brisket.
Did we get into meat selection?
We did in the very
I just
beginning.
don't remember it.
Yeah.
I just feel like I just
It was
fell
one of those-
asleep
3 months
during
ago.
that.
It was
Yeah.
one of those episodes.
God. And we actually had Ben talk about this. Ben called us. Ben, I'm going to give you a big shout out right here with,
Yes.
you remember what's his tag or his handle for?
Been there, done that. .tx.
Yeah.
But the Ben is BEN, not BEE.
Yeah, no, we
Ben.
get that. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Check out Ben because Ben is doing some crazy stuff. He's laser engraving, whatever else. He reached out on our last live, and hey, when he says he's a talker, but man, welcome to the
Awesome
show.
guy. Super
I love the energy. Great. Like some of the stuff he showed us, holy crap, this guy is on fire.
Yeah,
man.
we talked to him for about 40 minutes. You know what he said? He said, I watched the last episode. Who was the drunk guy?
Yeah, I said, that was me. And he goes, I wish y'all had talked more about brisket. And I go, well, actually, we've been on this brisket kit for 9 years, and we're winding it down. So you caught the tail end of a wind. He goes, oh, okay. I said, you had to go back and listen to a few more episodes. I'm not really sure how many we've done. Was it five?
There's
Brisket?
probably 5 or 6. Yeah.
So 6 weeks of brisket, dude, that's a lot of time. We got to get off of brisket for a little bit.
And we are.
We didn't talk about
today.
brisket mac and
We're
cheese.
jumping. No, we're jumping into the pork rib game.
That's it.
More specifically into the competition side of pork ribs.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot to get into and a lot to unwrap on this whole thing. Obviously, we can't get everything into one episode and keep it entertaining and fun because we can sit here and talk barbecue ribs, competition ribs for the next 3 hours.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people just kind of tune the fuck out and they'll be like, I'm done. Just send me the cliff notes.
In
or,
the first 30
Right.
seconds, just dumb this down to some give me some bullet points.
Right.
Give me step by step. That's all I want, right? Is that?
They just want the tips.
Do you think that's?
They want the pro tips.
Just the
tip, Bob.
tip, Bob. Just the
I was
tip.
waiting for that.
Yeah. So we have a lot. So, but here, I'll before we talk about what we're talking about today. Obviously, we're doing the competition ribs,
Today is all about rib selection.
rib selection. But
Keep that in mind.
But do you want to give a kind of synopsis of where we're going with our entire show, right? So today we're going to get into our top 10 game day snacks for Super Bowl, which Super Bowl's coming up.
Well, it's coming up for us. When they listen to this, it has just passed. So
So we shouldn't talk about that.
Yeah, I think we had ixnayed that one when you were messing with the phone. So,
Horrible idea.
yep. And we're moving on.
We have, we you know what? We still have the top 10 snacks. We're still going to pop them out there.
Correct.
We'll give you a high level what we're thinking about, whatever else. We have the world's quietest room. Next, I'm not elaborating. I'm not going into this. Whatever else. We have the dark origins of Valentine's Day. I'm just saying. Let's go. And then, of course, we're going to go into the barbecue beer review, the barbecue news, and of course the rib selection, competition rib selection, which, by the way, is important. If you're in the competition game and you're trying to win, you're trying to compete, you better know how to pick out your freaking ribs. You need
That's
to figure out
very beginning.
what
That's
you're
the start.
looking at. That's right. So,
And we're going to wrap this thing up with some barbecue fails, which if you're not watching this on YouTube, we have some pretty good videos on the barbecue fails. So
That's right.
if you have to listen to it just on Spotify or whatever, do that. Later on, go back, check it out on YouTube, and watch the videos because you will laugh your ass off.
yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, better be a barbecue fail tonight if we don't
Right.
watch this pit out here. I'm actually cooking. Well, I'm saying not me. It's James and I because it's always a team effort here. But I think we're cooking. I know we're cooking.
I was going to say, you think?
Brisket, and then we got two pork bellies.
Two
on
pork
right now.
bellies on the
Nice.
Oklahoma Joe.
That's right.
You
What made,
cooking
you
them
guys,
whole?
what made you want to do pork
Nice.
bellies? Because usually I don't think you guys cook pork bellies too
Pork
much.
belly burn ends.
Just wanted to do it, try it out.
Pork belly. No, I've got a thing tomorrow, and so I was like, I'm bringing in some food, and I'm going to wow everybody, and I'm going to entertain with some customers and future customers, and I'm just gonna fucking be awesome.
You gonna put
So-
some of that burnt end sauce?
Do we have any of that?
You know, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's from.
Hardcore Carnivore?
Hardcore.
Yes,
Carnivore.
thank you.
Yeah.
That stuff's pretty good.
I don't know if we have any.
It's really good.
If we have
Yeah.
some,
Oh,
yeah,
we'll get some. Yeah.
yeah.
The whole Jan's that he's going to get them hooked. He's like, they're going to
Right.
taste that barbecue.
They
and
already
they're just
should,
like,
bro.
Now, see, now I contributed. So if you add that, I can be like, yeah, I helped make that.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
So before we get into the world's quietest room, John, as I do a little shuffling and research, do you want to queue up Perry Brooks?
Yes.
I know we had a phone call from one of our buddies, top
Perry.
listeners.
What did Perry
just-
want? What did he say?
I don't know if you guys recall last week we did the Tarnation review.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it was James or Jan. One of y'all called Perry Brooks out saying that because you had you said you had 5 beers and then 3 Tarnations and you challenged him basically.
Yeah.
Saying he wouldn't hang or whatever.
Bet he
the hell you
couldn't do
said.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, he called in.
Well, okay.
Yo, boys, you know who it is. Yeah, that's I'll take that challenge.
Let's go.
5 beers. I'll let you pick the beers. Miller Lite, Coors Light, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dos Equis, Corona. We'll do 5 beers and 3 Tarnations. Boys, I'm Irish and a professional drunk. So, yeah, let's get it on.
Hey,
Date and time, baby. I'm there. Come
Game on.
hey,
I was about to say, it sounds like he
Look-
might have got started on that a little early.
He already did it.
Yeah.
Look,
He's
Perry,
all right.
look, send us your address because I'm going to send you a 6-pack of this Tarnation. And let me tell you, the magic number that I had was 3. 3 Tarnations. But that was after about 5 or 6 beers, right?
That's the whole challenge right here.
Yeah,
he
there it is.
thinks he can do it.
You think you can do this? And listen, I literally went out at that point. That was my going out moment. I had no business going out. I should have been going home. You know what I mean?
I think it's more than 6%, to be honest with you.
dude.
I mean, didn't that beer?
The
It was
Tarnation
It's
is
9%.
Oh, it was 9?
9%.
Okay, I was about to say, yeah.
You're looking at your drinks upside down. Yeah.
After one of those.
Yeah.
Right.
He's holding the bottle up down. I was
Three
like, it's only
9%ers
6%.
Pouring out on
the
his leg.
6-pack.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look, I love that. You know what? I love Perry just calling in all the time. Can we run this number out real quick? What is this phone number? If you want to call in,
Put his phone number. Oh, our phone number. I thought you meant Perry's.
Yeah, I
phone
was
number.
like, yeah, blast him.
if you want to call
Perry's phone
in and
number
you
out
want to be
there?
on the thing, it's I got this. It's hotline is 434-829-2299. Can you please call in and get on this freaking show?
Right.
All right.
And
Do your best.
John, he has a caller right now. John, cue up the caller.
Let's go, John.
Come again.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
One of these days it will.
Very easy, guys. Just leave a message.
Yeah. No, Perry's awesome. I think we've had conversations about him dropping in studio and doing just an in-person just interview.
Yeah.
I know he does catering. He does
He works his ass off. That's what
Yeah.
he does.
competition barbecue,
Yep.
working his butt off. I mean, he kills it. So we're going to get him on eventually just to shoot this shit and drinks a lot of beers
A
and
lot of beers.
all that good stuff.
Yeah. We playing like a Saturday night or something
Yeah.
and just like rage
It's going
like
to be
all
an
day.
in-person interview for sure.
We'll do cooking all day. We'll do some crazy stuff.
I feel like it would just be a shitty podcast. And
No,
it's
we have to
not- it's
record
not Perry.
first.
We'll
Yeah,
get,
yeah,
like,
right.
We'll go get a baby goat. We'll
Right.
we'll slaughter that damn thing in the backyard. We'll
And
hang
because
it up.
we'll be
we'll
so
skin
drunk
It.
and just like,
Yeah,
Yeah, we got to record it and then start drinking.
yeah. I'm not doing the goat thing. I'm just
Game
kidding about
plan.
that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sorry, Perry. Yeah.
Okay, so I saw earlier yesterday, I was thumbing through trying to come up with some articles before we dived into the whole
Delved.
barbecue. Is it delve?
Dove did.
Last
Delved
week you
in?
said
Dove
delve.
did.
Yeah.
I didn't want to repeat the same word again.
Well, I just don't want to.
can't do
Just want to
that.
make sure you knew what was
Jesus.
up, right?
You delved it.
You delved.
There's
it.
like
Anyway.
You
20
delved it in.
listeners just turned it off right there.
Yeah. So this moron can't even spell delved.
Right. So I learned about the quietest room
Yeah.
in the world.
I've heard of this thing. Yeah.
This is housed in Microsoft's headquarters. So I don't know what Bill Gates, I don't know what these guys over there are doing over there with trying to create the quietest room.
Right.
And I mentioned something a little bit earlier to my wife talking about the story, and some of these stories I bring up to Emma and Laura, my wife. I was like, this one room is like negative 20 decimals, and Laura's like, well, how does it go negative? It's like
Because everything has a sound.
it's 0.
So what up when you get 220 decimals, you still hear nothing? Is that how that works?
That's
gotta be it,
That's
right?
what she is like. Okay, so you have 10 decimals. Okay, you get down to 0. That should be nothing.
Right?
This room is negative 20.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
like
even know.
sucking sound out
'Cause
of the
it's-
room.
That's what I mean, like,
so
so-
soft. Like
Yeah.
your
That's like-
voice, go to say something, it doesn't carry. Like
Yeah.
you're literally, you feel like you're talking in a small little room about this big, right? That's why it's negative, because it takes so much to get to 0, just to be able to, and takes so much to get to one decimal,
Okay,
right?
that makes sense.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's so quiet.
So they say that only a handful of people can stay in this room for a minute max.
Oh, I can do it.
Why? What
I go to
happens?
sleep in there, bro.
Okay, so within the first couple of seconds in this room,
Ears start bleeding.
no, not yet.
Not yet.
A nosebleed. You're like, ugh,
I feel funny.
what's happening? Convulsions.
What's that movie, Scanners or whatever? He's like, nose starts bleeding. He's like, ugh. So within
Dude.
20, 30 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever, you can hear your heartbeat just like boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. Maybe another 10, 15 seconds after that, you can hear the bones grinding in your body as you move.
What?
Yeah. And then probably another 20 seconds after that, you can hear the blood flow through your body.
I want to go in this place so bad.
Dude.
That sounds awesome.
Nah, I don't believe that.
And then once you reach like a minute, you start getting this like high pitched like screaming in your ears to the point where people are like, I can't do it anymore. I'm done.
I want to try it.
Sounds
I
like
wanna try
a
it so bad.
anechoic chamber or something,
Dude.
right?
Lock me in there for 24 hours.
Did you read the?
I'll come out.
Claw your eyes out.
Yeah, I'll come out looking like a different human. I look like I'm a superhuman.
What
at
happened to
this
him?
point.
Or
Yeah.
hair falls out.
Yeah,
have
hair
no
is
more
gone.
ears.
Right, ears shattered. Right, just fingernails pulled out. Like just anything to get a noise. Right. I'm like I'm done. I'm in pain. Like yeah. Hey, whatever. I don't. So when I first read this, I thought it said the alcoholic chamber, and I was like, "Oh shit, the alcoholic chamber,
go there.
quietest room in the world." Like, I guess
How?
is that a cure or something? Like, I just, it's like sitting there. I was like, glanced. I was like, oh, okay.
Jan goes in there like 15 beers deep. He's like 3 tarnations deep, and he's just like, "Man, this is quite soothing in here."
Yeah. Hey,
Nobody's ever made it this far.
Right.
hey, can you put the AC down a little bit?
I think I'm gonna take a nap.
Let's get
You got a
comfortable. Yeah, I can hear my blood. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that, but I've heard this. So I've heard about this room, and I've heard that it actually does drive people crazy, and that's the deal. It's like you can go longer, you're just going to be crazy. You know, it's just going to make you feel like you're going insane, right?
Yeah,
So
it's like you lose your senses like that
Very quick.
perception really
Yeah.
quick. And it's like we took those cave tours where you go down deep into the earth,
Yeah.
the Carlsbad Caverns and all this stuff, whatever. So
Spelunking.
you get all the way down so far to where they're like, okay, everybody turn their lights off, and
Dude.
it's like so pitch black when everybody does it, and they're like, you can only go so long looking at pitch black before you're blind.
you go blind.
You should go blind. You're
What?
That's what happens. Yeah. So it's so dark down there. When they turn the lights out, like put your hand in front of your face and they turn the lights out. Can you see your hand? Bro, I was like this. I was like, I can't see nothing. Right? I'm looking for my fingertip or something. And they were like, after about a week, you start to go blind.
Yeah.
Like, if
So
you
it takes a while.
if you spend it's every day. Every day you're losing eyesight because
You have to keep your eyes shut.
You have nothing to focus
What
on.
the fuck's the difference if it's open or shut?
Well, because
You have nothing to focus on, so
yes,
your
your
eyes
eyes
like in and out,
trying to
focus.
focus.
Oh, I
It's
see.
trying to see, and it can't see anything, and you literally just go blind.
Huh. I've never had that happen.
But your hearing goes really well. I mean, that's
Just
what happened.
don't go into the deepest dark
Dear
part of a
God.
cave for a week,
Right.
And you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Well, they lost that
Won't
kid. So the one we went in, they had so and so's. What was it called? Christian's Corner, not Christian, something crown or throne. It's the throne, is what they called it. But it had a small kid that went missing for 3 days, like on a trip.
Yeah.
Kid goes in there, and the whole family goes up, but all the lights go down when everybody left. Right, this kid sat on this rock for like 3 days, and they came back down and found him, and he was in some part of some special place of this cavern that we'd walked down, and then where they found him was, so now they call it something throne, his throne, whatever his name. I can't remember his name. Johnny, Joey, Jimmy, Christian. I don't know, man. Like, whatever. But like 3 days, man. Think about that. How that dude never
be hungry as
he
shit.
never became like he just never became the same after that. You know what I mean? Like this kid was probably scared of the dark. After that, he's like, no, it's okay. I just like the dark. Hey,
Yeah,
you want to go outside and play? No, I'm just sitting in my closet. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it just ruined his life. I mean,
Right.
hopefully it didn't. Hopefully he's out playing basketball and doing his thing or whatever as a full life. But I just feel like that.
Did he go blind?
I think
It was only 3 days.
I feel
yeah.
like 3 days worth. And there may have been some lights in there that he was able to focus on or whatever at the
Yeah,
time.
to adjust his glasses prescription.
How did they not notice he was missing for 3
The
days?
family did, but he had wondered.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the
So
same
they were
spot.
searching for him for 3
Yeah.
days?
Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
so part of those caverns, you can fly 2 hot air balloons in one cavern. Think
Oh,
about
shit.
that. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
That's how big it is.
It's
So it's like
a
and
Joe
never
Dirt
touch.
situation
Never-
where they
yeah.
just left him.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
dude's got like a wig on. Like that's my wig.
Yeah,
Oh
the-
no, where's Johnny?
Right.
Oh.
The only other way that or other way that I've heard of somebody going blind
Yeah,
that quick
masturbation.
is masturbation.
Is that what you're gonna say?
Stupid.
Yeah,
Y'all are dumb as shit.
I was like really listening in, like, oh, I want to hear about this.
yeah.
But I'm bummed.
But I'm
All right,
I'm
well,
sorry I killed your
quickly,
thunder.
Yeah, let's hear the other nonsense you brought us.
Say it.
quickly slide onto the other nonsensical news that I brought.
Dark
So,
origins of Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is approaching really quickly, and a lot of people are out there probably scrambling, just like, "Fuck, what am I gonna do? I got to get the candies. I got to get the flowers. I got to get everything."
This thing's
But
made up by Hallmark.
do you know the origins of Valentine's Day? Do you know what you're celebrating?
Saint Valentine.
Saint Valentine. Mm-hmm. But do you know how that came about?
All I know is if it's after a saint, it's usually a sad story. There's something
Yeah,
bad that
somebody
happens.
died.
Yeah.
Somebody always dies.
Now, I just let me just go ahead and just like Quentin Tarantino this stuff. And like, yeah, there's 2 people that got killed. They were named Valentine, and they both died on February 14th, like years apart. And I'm not sure who murdered them or killed them or whatever, but the Catholic Church came in like, oh, okay, hey, Saints Valentine's Day, we're gonna pick you up, guys. R.I.P. We're sorry. And that sounds very just kind of just like I'm glossing over that, but I'm sorry. But when I read this story here,
Can you read the first line for me?
Yeah,
James?
no. When I read this, so
Let's get there first.
from February 13th to the 15th, the Romans celebrated the feast of Lupercalia.
yeah.
Lupercalia.
The men sacrificed goats and dogs, and then whipped the women with the hides of the animal that they have just slain. So
All been there, right?
yeah. Let me just let that soak in. So the Roman romantics were obviously drunk and naked the whole time, and they would take these hides of goats and dogs, and the women would just line up.
but it says the Roman romantics were drunk, they were naked, right? They're just standing there in all their glory, right?
Correct, yeah.
And they're like, line up, girls. They all lined up.
Because they thought that this was some type of like fertile type deal. to where-
Fertility.
fertility where they'd line up and these guys would just beat them with these hides and they would be fertile.
Let's get smacked, right? Get a little
Right.
butt pop.
And then they would link up. They would like,
Yeah.
hey, you're with me for the rest of this festival. And they're like, great. And then sometimes it would last. Sometimes they're like, hey, I will never call you again.
Right. It's like, right.
I whipped her with the goat first.
Is it like a towel snap type of deal, or
Look, last night was cool and all, but I'm just not feeling it.
nothing says love like being beat with a dead dog?
Try your luck next year. I mean, like, what? They're just trying to get pregnant. They're just trying to get like, hey, I just want to get fertile. I just want to be able to make my strip down. Let's beat you with some carcass.
Right.
And
Why a goat and a dog? He says, why a goat and a dog?
I have no clue, but they had their rhymes and reasons. But you go back into history, just like they just had weird stuff that they did. Like, oh no, I gotta step on this crack. If I don't step on this crack, then just everybody dies.
Right.
So I do this every day, and then I pass that on to my kid. You have to step on this crack every day, or everybody dies. So it's like that. How many thousand
like
years
OCD
prior to
before we
that,
knew
just
what
like
OCD was.
somebody skinned a dog and a goat and like whip it, and then like
Whip
2
it
months
real
later,
good.
this lady's like, "Oh, I'm pregnant," and they're like, "That's how it works."
yeah,
You're welcome.
next year I'll be whipping you. Right? You're like, whoa, time out, Tim. It says ancient Romans may also be responsible for the name of the modern day of love. Emperor Claudius II executed 2 men, both named Valentine, on February 14th, in 2 different spans, right? Two different time frames. And there's a word I don't know.
Martyrdom?
Martyrdom.
Martyrdom. I see it now. Yeah, it was honored by
Martyrdom.
the Catholic Church with the celebration of St. Valentine's Day. And I feel like that's...
I just never knew St. Valentine's
That's
Day
just-
was a Catholic holiday.
Right.
Yeah.
This
I thought he said cathartic.
Oh yeah, no,
Cathartic.
it's a Catholic holiday.
Catholic.
Catholic.
Catholic, not cathartic.
Got a nice little depiction here of
Catholic?
the murder here.
Is that
The word is
Catholic?
Catholic.
But hey,
Catholic.
this is
Catholic. Go fuck yourself.
But hey, this is the Grabbing the Brisket barbecue podcast, and maybe we
That's what
should
alcohol does
slide
to you.
into a little
Fucks
bit of the
your brain
barbecue
up.
news.
Yes. Hot off the grill barbecue news brought to you by MBBQA Barbecue News Magazine.
It is Catholic Church.
Sorry.
Dude, I'm trying to read all these fucking words on here. I'm like, okay, Lupercali. I'm like looking here, like yeah, like Claudius. I mean, geez, Martyrdom. Like, can we
Hey,
just,
words are hard, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
Sorry, let me
Damn,
get my shit
bro.
together here.
Get your-
Okay. I got
Go.
I got a couple of few things here. Big Mo Cason and Bob Trudnak, 2 friends of the show.
Yeah.
2 of the most renowned names in barbecue
Yep.
are teaming up for a new barbecue joint in Huntsville, Texas, called the Kindred Pig Barbecue. Sure to be a hit. 2 pitmasters have obviously decades of experience. We don't have a date yet on when that's opening or whatever, but we will keep you posted.
We will be there.
Yeah, we want to definitely go check that place out. I think that's cool.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's cool.
I was hoping somebody was going to jump in with something to say about it, but I'll just go on to the next one, I guess.
Bob has the pizza, right? He is the pizza guy. He has
He's
the
the
sauces and whatever
barbecue
else, right?
smoke guru, all that, yeah.
And then you have Mo, which is basically just been slaying it for years, right? I
Right.
mean, it's just barbecue royalty, basically, right? Both those guys have been on television, have been on the Barbecue Network or what is it, Food Network and whatever.
Right.
The fact they're going to Huntsville. That part is a little bit intriguing to me, and I'm like, I know they're trying to get out of their comfort zone and get into an area, but like Huntsville, who picked Huntsville? And I'm like, I mean, I see it, and Huntsville's a big town and whatever else,
Right.
but I'm like,
I
I'm
love
curious.
it that it's close enough for us to drive to.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to set something up for sure.
I'm curious of like, it's
There is
not
a
going to be
prison nearby, so-
Oh,
but
nice.
state prison, but I don't think it's going to be like, I'm wondering if they're going to do like a standard. Their standard barbecue, are they going to be elevating? Is it going to be something different?
Oh, I'm sure they'll be
you know what I mean?
doing something
And
big.
I cannot
Pulled pork
wait to
pizza.
see because these guys are mad geniuses. They're going to come up with something.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just feel it, you know?
Love it.
100%. The next one I got here, award-winning
Catholic.
pitmaster, yes, Catholic, award-winning pitmaster, barbecue judge, owner of Cool Smoke Barbecue, Tuffy Stone, has released 2 new barbecue rubs. The Big Umami, and the other one is called Daily Grind Coffee Rub. Let's see, I have a little clip here somewhere.
Gotta click
Fuck,
it,
I don't know where the
go.
fuck it went. Oh, there it is. It's not a clip. It's just a picture, so you can see it. But I couldn't find much about it anywhere except for he posted something on Facebook about it. So I didn't even see it on his website yet, but I'm guessing it's going to be there pretty soon. And he did say on his little Facebook post that there's a third one coming, but he seemed pretty excited about it. And I didn't get any flavor profiles other than obviously one of them's a coffee rub and the other one's umami.
It says one's an all-purpose, right?
Yeah, one's all-purpose, the other one's,
all-purpose rub. The other one's a beef and pork.
I want that umami.
That's what I have. That's what I have in my notes.
What is it? Made in the USA. It'd be better if you said made in Texas. Sorry, Tuffy.
Well, he's from Virginia or something, isn't
But yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't know. But,
Are we the only state that does that?
he? Made in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Are we?
100%.
But I like how the logo, the packaging, everything looks phenomenal. And those rubs look great. But I like it's the Professor Tuffy Stone, and he is the professor.
Oh,
he is,
sure.
He is scientific. He is very down to like how much he does, how long he does. Like he has this thing down to a pat. It's the reason why he is like a world champion.
Oh, for sure.
And everything else.
I can just tell by looking at that picture that I'm going to like those
Right.
rubs. I
Yeah.
mean, just looking at that.
Yeah.
4-time grand champion at the Jack Daniels and Memphis. He's got all of them. He's been grand champion
He
on
is.
almost everyone you can think of.
Right.
He's won them all.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm kind of disappointed with is having the pig behind him.
I was thinking that.
It should be a goat because
Because
He is the goat?
he is one of the
I
goats.
like what you did there.
Okay, nice.
That's pretty good.
Tuffy, take
Pretty
notes, brother.
good.
Take notes.
Okay, and then the last thing I have here, and I'm pretty damn excited about this one, is Academy is now going to be carrying Lane's rubs and sauces. I don't know if you guys already heard this or not.
Yeah.
Not.
So, and I just have a little clip because it kind of showed on their website what some of the stuff was that they're going to be carrying. But I'll read them for you for the folks that are not watching. Looks like they're going to have his buffalo sauce, the one-legged chicken, sort of white sauce, kind of sweet sauce, the Kunami rub, the blackening rub, the brisket rub, and Spellbound, which is one of his, I think, well, I say newer, but it's been around for a little while now.
Yeah.
No
So-
Cubano? Do you say Cubano?
Nope, I didn't see that one. Although when I watched his video, he mentioned one or two other ones I did not see on the website. So maybe some stores will have
Okay.
different stuff than others. I'm not really sure, but I'm excited about the sort of white, and I'm really excited about the brisket rub.
Let me tell you
All of
who's
his
really
stuff is
excited
really
about the
good.
Sorta White?
Who?
Leslie.
Oh, she loves that shit.
Leslie's like, are you serious? I don't
Buy by
have
the
to. I
gallon.
don't. Alex's wife is like, are you saying I don't have to order this? I can just go to Academy and pick a bottle up anytime I want? Mm-hmm. Done. You can,
Yeah.
Leslie.
Yep. So I text him about it, and I think he has some other new stuff on the market too. So we need to probably pick up some of his stuff and try it.
Yeah, get him back on. Let's get him back on. Do our thing, right? We need to get Mo back on as well.
We need to get a lot of people back on. We haven't had a guest on in a while, but I'm trying to get some lined up for us.
Is it you, John, or like what's happening?
Is it me?
Yes, it's me. I haven't done it, so it's not going to happen until I do.
We've been trying
right.
to work out the
John
video
thing.
aspect of this whole thing. So.
Exactly. Actually, I wanted to make a little apology for the late. I've been late like 2 or 3 weeks in a row now, and it's because I've been getting my ass kicked by the editing portion of this. So, listeners, I'm sorry, but I think I have it figured out. So, hopefully next week it's on time.
Well, it's
Cross
my
your fingers.
It's my fault because Monday I actually sent my clip or my video to you late Monday, and it didn't give you a lot of time.
There it is.
So did James.
Oh, never mind.
I was going to say it's my fault because I had a ham sandwich today for lunch. Usually I have turkey.
That was the wrong way. Yeah,
It's my fault.
yeah, it is your fault, James.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Both your
understand.
faults. Anyways, that's all I've got for the Hot Off the Grill Barbecue News.
Are you saying that it's? Are you saying what I think you're saying, James?
Yeah, I'm saying we need to slide into a little bit of paying the bills. Did
I
you
love
think I was
this.
going to say that?
No, I was waiting for that
Nope.
earlier. Later.
Nope, we're going to pay some bills. We're going to
Earlier.
hear from one of our friends
Hey.
in the Odd Pods.
Catholic,
All my bills.
Media
live in
Network.
Texas.
Catholic,
Okay.
Catholic, Catholic.
In part by Oklahoma Joe's new Ryder Deluxe pellet grills.
Since the company's humble beginnings in 1987, Oklahoma Joe has helped those who appreciate the process and the craft of smoking.
What began with Joe Davidson, a member of the Barbecue Hall of Fame, and a dozen hand-built smokers at the Oklahoma State Fair over 30 years ago, has since forged an Oklahoma Joe's brand that builds some of the most sought-after smokers.
Oklahoma Joe has a proud history of creating uncompromising smokers and grills with carefully crafted design, and the newest generation of the popular Ryder Series pellet grills carries on this tradition.
The new features in the Oklahoma Joe's Ryder Deluxe pellet grills include a Pit Control 2.0 system that delivers the category's first dual sensor temperature control.
Fire-focused dual sensor feedback optimizes temperature control based on selected cooking styles, low and slow smoking, or high heat grilling.
A power feed system that boasts the high torque auger motor that powers through pellets for incredible power and performance.
The new Ryder Deluxe series builds on several popular features, including smoke and sear modes, which features an impressive temperature range that runs from 200 degrees Fahrenheit to a searing hot 650 degrees Fahrenheit, and a 20-pound quick-draw hopper that allows unused pellets to be drained in seconds for simple storage, removal, and swapping of pellet flavors. Guys, if you want to find out more information about the new Ryder Deluxe Series pellet grills from Oklahoma Joe, check out the Oklahoma Joe's website, and the link is in our description in the bio, and that's oklahomajoes.com.
Hey, you there. We've got a question for you. Are you tired of clickbait stories and the loudest voices driving discussions in culture and entertainment?
If so, I'm Dylan.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Corey. And we host the podcast From the Middle. We're middle-class guys living in the middle of America, in the middle chapters of our lives with points of view somewhere in the middle.
We take a more reasonable and centrist approach in our discussions covering genres like comedy, culture, entertainment, and interviews, with really interesting folks like business owners, comic creators, doctors, news anchors, New York Times best-selling illustrators, professional stand-up comics, and more. We really value a relaxed and conversational podcast, one that we hope is so fun and laid back, you'll forget you're not actually hanging out with us.
So search at From the Mid Pod, just like it sounds, or check us out everywhere you can find podcasts.
That's probably my favorite podcast. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The guys are entertaining.
I love those guys.
I think that was the most fun one being on.
it was
Of
pretty
all
good.
the things we've
Yeah.
been on. So yeah.
Yeah, they were fun to talk to.
Yeah, I feel like they were a lot like us. So it was very easy to have a conversation with them versus like 20 seconds. You're on the clock. Who's your best artist that you like? You're like, oh my god, like dude, like why are you asking me?
Just because you froze up.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. Like I already want to go back on that show. And which, by the way, we got to get back on that show. I got to do better.
Right.
I
Let's see
can't do
what I
better.
can do.
Like,
Was that
hook me
same
up.
show? What was the show? Was it
Which one?
the barbecue?
Barbecue Nation?
Yeah, Barbecue
Barbecue
Nation.
Nation.
Yeah, poor
With
Jan
Leanne,
froze
yeah.
up back there.
Jan.
Oh, what's your
I
favorite
had a
music?
great time on that show.
Houston rap. Yeah, I love that. I listened to it, but that wasn't one of my favorite. I just froze. I couldn't even talk. Like
What happened
was-
to you that night? It was so funny.
because it's such a weird format to go into. Like I just
No, it was you. You were off. There was something wrong
it
with
was
you
so
that night.
bad. You know what? You know what it is? I'm great at asking questions. I'm not good at being asked anything. You know what I mean? So
Leanne, Jeff.
yeah,
Yeah, I love that
they're,
show.
They're so good. I love
Oh
them.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Anywho,
All right, this is the Grabbing the Brisket.
Let's go.
I'm excited about this one, James.
Today is another beer brought to you by Martin House Brewery.
always Martin House. Can we get
Unofficial
Mixing it up.
sponsor of the show.
Can we get?
They'll be an official sponsor if they can start sending us some beer.
Can you get with Martin House? Tell them like, dude, when are you become the official beer of the show? Like, we just keep reviewing your beers, and it's not because we want to. It's because you put out so many beers. When we go to the store, you're like, well, that's a new beer. I got to take that.
Right.
Next week, you're like, oh shit, that's a new beer. I got to take this. And you're like,
And
oh, and you don't even realize it's by Martin House. You're like, oh, it's Martin House.
they had the best artwork on their cans.
They
Like,
do. It's
they
very
sucks me
catchy.
in.
It's very
They
catchy.
do so.
Hold it up in front
well.
of the thing there.
Let's see.
Yeah, here. Put it right in that camera.
Yeah. Anyways, so this is called what, James?
This is called Upside Down.
Lactose sour with pineapples, cherries, and cake flavoring, 6.5% alcohol by volume. What do you think of that can, Jan?
Malt beverage and natural and artificial flavors. This can speaks summertime. This can is summer. You know what I mean?
I do like it. I like the light blue with the. It has got the
Yeah.
little pineapples with the
It just
cherries in the
speaks to you.
center.
Yeah. This is how we do our brisket. It's how we do our pork butts.
It's a great looking can.
Pineapple with some maraschino cherries in there.
Yeah, it-
Layer the whole thing. put your pork on top, then you layer the entire top of it, and you just cook.
I like it.
It's delicious.
You just cook.
Then you blend everything up. You crush the cherries, crush the pineapple. Everything goes into the meat after you're done, and then
Nice.
yeah, it's pretty delicious.
Can't wait for that video to come out.
Right?
We've shot it before, bro.
So this is
Great. That's fantastic.
Sorry you didn't get it, but
Don't rush into these things.
we've actually shot that thing already.
So when I picked this
Yes.
up, automatically I was like, yeah, pineapple upside down cake. I mean,
Oh, I'm a
that's-
sucker for that.
That's one of my favorite cakes in
Yeah.
the world. And I was
It's-
like, and
this
I
guy-
actually saw these guys doing a review. What's the guy that does the review on TikTok where he talks about all the beers?
Not the Martin House guy.
Correct. No.
No. One Big Pike.
Yeah. I guess. I
I
don't know.
think that's the
Yes.
big,
Yeah.
Why are you
I don't
asking?
big dude with the
If
beard.
you don't even
Yeah, the
know,
beard.
yeah,
Correct.
I think that's what
just
you're
say
talking
yes.
about. I don't know.
This guy on the internet.
He
said
drinks a
what?
lot of stuff.
That's where I saw it, and he's like, yeah, this is literally like if you like pineapple upside down cake, like you get the cake batter, you get the pineapple, the cherry, the tartness, and this is a sour beer, so it's very sour.
It
so
does have some sour.
If you're a fan of the sour styles of beer, then this
What's
is right up
what's
your
the
alley.
alcohol in this?
6.5.
6.5.
That's not bad.
pretty good. For a sour, it's pretty good.
I've not tried it, but I mean, it smells like you're smelling cake batter,
Yeah.
right?
It's got a lot of complex flavors, I think, and the tartness, like you said, it's sour. I don't think it's over the top sour.
I don't
like
think so
some of them
either.
are really sour.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, I can't do it. This, I think it's complemented pretty well by the sweetness.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Usually I don't really go for sours, but this is
I think it's good.
it's got a very
I really
good
like
balance,
it.
I think.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Have you tried this one before, James?
I have, yeah.
So did you get it again because you're like, oh,
No, it's still the same 6-pack. So
Oh, okay.
I think
You just
I
bought
had
it?
one out of it, and I think John had one like maybe a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's been hanging on to it. We had a few different packs in the fridge we've been working through each week. So, yeah. Anyways, what do you think, Matt? You want to go first?
I think they very appropriately named this beer.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I think they nailed all the pineapple upside down cake elements to it, and I'm gonna give it an 8.4.
Wow, you're up there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I usually sour beers I'm usually not that crazy about, but this
Can
one's
I go
very
next?
tasty.
Same. Yeah, go for it.
I'm at 8.8.
Hey,
This is a
Damn.
really good beer. This thing, you could, dude. You see me drink that? I could just drink.
damn,
I could
you drank it all.
I could have killed that whole thing, like easily. This is a great beer.
I think
8.8.
it's good too.
8.8. It's smooth. It's not too sour. It's just it finishes really well. You know what you're drinking. You're not drinking. You're not looking at a can and drinking something and going like, this does not represent what the can says it does. This thing represents exactly what it is. It's a little it's a little cakey. It's definitely pineapple-y. It still has a watery taste to it, where it's not overly pineapple, right? It's not just like some artificial whatever. This is a great beer. Great beer.
I like
8.8.
it too. And I got a number in my head before you guys started talking. I'm glad I did because you guys would have definitely swayed me. I'm gonna go 8.3. I really like this beer too. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah, and like everything you said, it's pineapple. The sweetness definitely cuts the sourness. I think it's very well rounded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, love it. I'm a little bit lower than you guys. I'm going a solid 7.0. It's
That's
a good,
a lot
it's a
lower.
good
you're
beer.
not a big sour person, right?
I'm not a big sour
But
person.
that's not
so
like you take a drink.
Talk
Take
him
a
out of it,
drink,
Jen.
dude.
Talk him out of it.
Just take a drink.
if they just eliminate the sour and it was more sweeter, I would probably give it like an 8.5.
Like
9.
pineapple juice.
Yeah, pineapple juice.
Alcoholic pineapple
pineapple
juice.
Martin House. You hear from the experts. Make pineapple juice with alcohol, right? Like
Just give me
vodka
like
or
a
whatever you got to do.
Screwdriver, but
Yeah, right. Make it with pineapple. It's fine.
Like a Mai Tai.
You're a 7.0.
7.0.
That's good.
Are you sure you don't want to like reconsider what this is?
I'm good.
No,
Like a
7.0
7.7?
7.0 is very good. That means it's a very
7.0
good
is
beer.
good.
7.1.
And
Yeah, score.
It cuts you off.
Hey,
this concludes.
this is what
the-
happens. This
Grab
is
them in the brisket.
beer review. Hey, this is what happens when you pull crazy shit like
Hey,
this.
we
James.
sang the jingle. We're done.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Hey,
There's no going back.
It's time for barbecue.
this may be one of the quickest 90-second beer reviews. I mean, not 90-second beer reviews we've had. Maybe we call it
Yeah.
the not 90-second beer review.
Right. The review formerly known as 90 seconds.
Yeah, it's like Prince. I see John is wearing his 90-second beer review. Let's go.
Don't tell him.
The original.
I have the
Trademark.
shirt. I'm not going to not wear it.
We got trademark infringed on or something. What was that? They sent us like a
Very nice people. Go
Very-
check out their Instagram.
they sent us a letter. I'm not over this, man. I'm still talking about like, dude. Then do
It's been
you?
like 2 years.
I feel like we were like I feel like we're sending them traffic. I feel like we're just like helping them out. Like, great, yeah, we made 90-second beer review shirts. We talk about it, own it. Like, I don't.
When
care.
you look it up online, too, there's multiple people that post 90-second bear reviews at this
yes,
point. Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Most of them are still us, but
And it should be us. Like, it's our idea. It's not theyrs.
But they
they're
got it
part of the
first.
simulation.
Right.
We're not. You know what I
Right.
mean? They're part of the matrix. We're actually alive. That's how I actually view a lot of people. I don't know why. It's weird. It's
Anywho.
super weird.
Yeah, James, please tell me about some
Let's
pork
pull
ribs.
it in together, like maybe just tighten it up a bit.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just kidding. We're gonna get into talking
I'm in
about
my own-
barbecue.
I'm in my own simulation.
Right. Jan is in his own simulation.
Yeah.
So today is all about cooking competition pork ribs, and just pork ribs in general. We can go into that as well. But the first portion of it is ultimately like the rib selection. It's like I'm going to the grocery store. I am looking to get what I need to get as far as the rib. And it probably varies, maybe whatever competition that you're getting into, but a lot of them are specifically pork spare ribs.
That's right. Yeah, you're not doing baby backs, whatever else. You're
so
doing a spare rib.
You can get the giant spare ribs, or you can
you
get
can-
the
you-
St. Louis cut, which is already kind of like
Yeah, but,
trimmed
but
down a
you,
little bit.
you can buy them and cut yours down the way you want them, right? And buy the big cut. But then it's always about like the product, right? It's where you're getting it from. Like back in the day, we used to be like, "Oh, what store are you going to?" Like that was the big deal. Like, what store? I go to Kroger's, or I go to Walmart, or I go to whatever, right? But now it's all about where these pigs are coming from, right? Like, so people like the Duroc. I'm saying that correctly. I can't say Catholic, so I'm pretty sure I'm not saying
right.
that.
Duroc.
Yeah, the Duroc ribs. Yeah,
Right. So that's like it's the style of pig or whatever else, right? Or the breed of pig.
Yeah,
And
there's
I
like
think-
a ton of different breeds, and I think
Yeah.
we're kind of limited on our end as far as being in Texas because we have a lot of options of different, I guess, manufacturers that put out pork. Whether you're talking about Smithfield or you're talking about
yeah.
Swift or you're talking whatever it is,
Doesn't matter.
I think it's a little bit different in when you slide over to say maybe Georgia, Atlanta, Tennessee, all these southern states over here that are really predominant in that pork, I would say production or that pork game, so to speak.
Yeah,
They have
yeah.
so many different options than what we have. One thing I want to talk about is like just getting into is okay, the three styles that you're going to go to the grocery store, what you're going to see. You're going to see baby backs.
Yep.
You're going to see pork spare ribs.
Yep.
And you're going to see spare ribs or St. Louis.
yeah.
Yeah, but those are the same. Spare rib and a St. Louis rib are the same. It's just cutting them down. You have to know how to cut them
It's
down.
like, do you want to do the extra work?
Right. But for me, I always buy the full rack, and I'm like, whatever. Well, unless I'm trying to go to competition.
Do you ever
or
cut
whatever.
yours down?
Yeah.
I buy the spare rib and I just cook it on there. I just like having that little extra meat knuckle at the end.
So back in the day, I used to. Back in the day, that's how. I'd even like back in the day, like 20 years ago. I don't think we even cut them down at that point. We just
They didn't offer like St. Louis style
you
cut.
just cut them.
You basically, like, got the
you
spare
could cut
and
it
you cut
down,
it down yourself.
You could cut it down yourself or not. Back then, we just didn't really care. We're like it was almost like
we
a
turned
trash.
in like a giant like
yeah.
1.5 foot long rib.
8-inch
8-inch,
bone,
9-inch
just like,
bone in.
You better give us the bigger box because
But it was almost like nobody cared. Like we only entered the pork ribs because it was like James did some research and he was like, I'll cook ribs. I'm like, okay, fine. Like we just went into cook-offs only cooking brisket. Like people cook brisket and chicken. We're like, okay, well, good for y'all. Like we're gonna spend 15 hours only concentrating on one protein, and we're gonna make the best we can. And oftentimes we were in the top, right? The top, whatever that would be, right? Top 5 or top 3 or top 1, right? That was us. But when ribs came around, we're like, it's trash. Like, who cares? And now I look at it, I'm like, man, you can live and die by the rib.
Yeah, separates
You know
the
what I mean?
winners from the losers.
That's right.
Definitely does.
That's right.
Can I go into a little bit?
Sure can.
Spare ribs. So spare ribs are a cut from the belly of the pig and are known for its rich flavor and tender meat. They're a meatier and okay. Let me go back a little bit. So they're meatier and larger than a baby back rib, and are really popular with the competition cooking scene.
Yeah.
Going back to the whole thing we were talking about, you buy the whole spare rib and you cut it down to what you want. You basically cutting it down to the St. Louis style. You're able to square it in and cut it to where you want. So, I mean, I can see how that's like hugely popular with the competition scene.
Yeah, so even taking like the ribs now, you can go buy St. Louis cut ribs, and sometimes I don't think they cut them correctly. Let's be honest with you. But you start looking about what people are turning in right now. Like those first couple of bones, people are cutting those off now in competitions. Your racks look like this.
For sure. Yeah.
They're about 10 inches.
Like a rectangle.
Yeah. Basically like maybe 10 bones.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
if
not
that.
saying that. Yeah,
Yeah. 8 or 9.
7, 8. Yeah, I mean that's what I think.
And
they're like-
really, you're only turning in maybe the middle 5 or 6.
that's it. And they're doing like five racks of this.
Yeah.
Like the guys that are actually competing, they're not cooking 2 racks of ribs. They're cooking 8 racks of ribs, and they're gonna get the best 8 racks of ribs they can. Like these guys, it's not the way that we do it. Like we go
Right.
in almost very purist, right? Like where we have we're gonna cook 2 briskets, we're gonna cook 2 racks of ribs, and we're gonna cook 2 chickens, right? And there's nobody telling you can't do more on the rib or chicken side. We just don't ever do it, right? We're like, and I feel like on the rib side, like even last year at the Austin rodeo where we're at, where we didn't really we were like a no-show in ribs. They were great flavored. They just weren't done
Just
enough,
didn't hit,
right?
right?
Yeah, it just wasn't it, right? Even there, I think we could have done a lot better had we just cooked multiple racks and just picked the ones out.
I forget, were those tagged though? We might have been stuck. No?
No.
Just the brisket was
ribs,
tagged?
just the brisket.
So,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway.
I don't know.
All right. Next on the list is baby back ribs. So, a little description that I got was like baby back ribs are cut from the loin, and they are leaner. I guess they're leaner than the spare rib. They're also smaller in size. They have a more delicate flavor, and they're also known for its more tender meat. So, baby back ribs, you always see them. They always got like that curved bone.
Yeah.
Meat is just super tender and super juicy. So if you get an opportunity to do a competition and they say, yeah, you can cook baby backs, you can cook whatever, yeah, go for baby backs 100%. You get a nice rack of just baby backs and it's super tender, you'll win every day over a spare rib, as long as you don't overcook it.
It's weird because I feel like the spare ribs just have so much more meat. You're like,
It does.
are you
more meat.
They're
hungry
way
or not?
fattier, right?
Like, are you hungry or not hungry?
You know,
know
it's,
what I mean?
and do you guys ever cook baby backs? Because like if somebody invites me over and they say, hey, I'm cooking ribs, I don't expect to see baby backs when I show up.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
I do cook baby
Yeah.
back at the rib. I mean, baby at the house. I can't talk.
Not my baby back.
Baby back,
I
baby
want
back.
my
Chili's baby back ribs, barbecue. Listen, I do cook those, but I love them every single day. I love them. They're
Yeah.
so freaking good.
every so often I'll grab them because it'll be like a good deal. I'm like, I'll throw some of those down. You know,
$9.
Yeah.
You're like, yes, please. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just
It's because
They're hard to
they-
mess up.
They are so tender, and you can just go in with just a dry rub and just on a grill, or you could smoke them or whatever.
That's my favorite.
But they're so tender, dude. Easily, you can probably demolish like a half a rack by yourself because there's not a whole lot of meat on it, but there is nice tender meat on it. So
Yeah.
you can eat a whole rack of that. Just like, okay, well, I feel guilty now, but
yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
I don't ever
let's
feel
buy
guilty.
some this weekend and make our own McRib sandwich out of them.
Let's do it.
Just cook
Yeah.
it so much you pull the bone out. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to do this on the grill and not wrap them. Just let them
So,
go.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite. I like grilled baby backs. I don't want a soft like it's been wrapped up in foil or wrapped up in paper. I want one that's been grilled off and you're basically you can just break apart or cut, and it's
Right.
tender.
I think they're just
and
too
you
tender
just
and
have
too little
You just
meat
have
for
that
that.
grilled,
Right.
yeah. But you have that
It's
grilled,
like that salt, pepper steak,
Yeah.
just umami,
Dude,
just like boom.
so
let's
good.
go.
So good. That's my
All right.
favorite.
Next on next on the list was St. Louis ribs. We already kind of like touched that a little bit. I mean, that's basically just a spare rib, just cut
Right.
down.
You're just cutting off those rib tips, basically.
Yeah, just the knuckles, right?
all
Just
that
the-
all that cartilage
the top
pieces
part.
are going bye bye.
Right. And then I think a pro move that people do is so you always have one fatter side to the spare rib, right? And it kind of tapers down.
Mm-hmm.
So people go in about 2 or 3 bones, they cut off, and then you're left with this rack. It's about like, I don't know, 8 bones or 7 bones, whatever. And they're going to cook about 5 of those, right? And then that's how you get the best of the best. All 5 will be identical, but they're all going to cook differently. All meat cooks differently.
Yeah.
And that's how
Well,
they.
I think one thing you need to watch out about is those end bones are trash.
Yeah.
Right.
Those are thrown away. So what you're talking about as far as like you can't go that far down into a rack of ribs because you're automatically going to lose like
Yeah, you're turning those
Two
new
here,
ones
the
into the
end
end ones.
bones.
Now.
You're turning
so
2 here and 2 here
that's
out.
going to turn into
Yeah.
okay,
You
you're
have
only going to
4.
have like maybe
Right.
6, 8 bones maybe
Right.
that's usable.
Yeah,
that you
but,
can sit there and cut.
but out of that rack, you're not turning all of those in.
Right.
Out of that rack, you're only going to turn about 3 or 4, and then you're going to turn around and go to your next rack because you cook 2 at least minimum, and you're going to go cut those down. You're going to go, okay, you're going to pick 4 of those, so like you have 8 ribs turning, 9 ribs
Right.
turning in, and you're going to plate your box that way. Nobody's taking all the ribs from one rack of ribs.
No.
And I think people think that though, and I think people think like, man, these were good, but this middle part was great, but the end parts weren't. You know, like they were just overdone or they were too chewy or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But I don't think people realize, hey, why don't you go cook 5 racks of ribs and get the best of the
Well, I
best
think
out of those
it's-
5 racks and turn them in? Because I guarantee you, people are freaking doing this.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yes and no.
They are.
I think
They're cheaters.
Cooking 5. I think
just
cooking
kidding. I'm
5
just kidding.
racks of ribs is
Yeah, it's-
probably overkill.
I
do
I
3.
see people doing 4.
Right. But I think once you get down a
So 5
process
is too
that
much.
you're
At
lining
4
out,
hold
you're
on.
good. I don't think
At
you have
4,
to cook that
you're
many.
like, hey, it's perfect amount. I'm cooking 5. You're like, I think you're being a little wasteful at that point. Like,
I
they're
think
just
we
trying
need to get like Aaron. We need to get Aaron Leslie, or we need to get Bill Purvis on here talking about
Call
how many
him up.
racks of ribs that they put on. Because I guarantee you they probably just maybe do 2. That's it.
Call him up. Bill, what are you cooking with? How many racks of ribs are you using like for your competition? Are you doing 3 racks, 4 racks, 5 racks?
Before we get way into
He's listening.
Yeah, before we get way into the actual cooking in whatever, this is kind of more just the selection of the
No,
ribs.
I know that. I get that.
And one of the big key takeaways that I can say, and so there's 3 little things I was going to say, but one of them before we get into it, flip it over to the backside, look at the bones. Look and see how they're moving. You want very straight bones. If you have a lot of bones that are just like sitting there curving,
Slanted.
do not get that rack of ribs, because you know what? I guarantee you, when you go to cook that rack of ribs and you pull it off and it looks beautiful, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And you go to fucking slicing on it, you're gonna just like slicing into
Look like-
bones.
Looks like that.
And you're gonna
Like-
hate yourself, and you're gonna be yelling at people. You're like, I keep slicing to the fucking bone, and I keep doing it. It's
Yeah.
nothing's.
Even if you can get it straight, they're all going to be all funky on the ends, right?
It's
all
all
at angle.
going to shrink up.
Right.
The meat's going to
You're
shrink
like, I'm
up.
just gonna-
Everything shrinks. That's why it makes it harder. In the beginning, you're like, oh, I can cut that. And then when it cooks up, you're like, bone.
All right. So once you decide which cut of ribs you're going to do, what's your next step in the process of selecting ribs? You looking
What?
at marbling, thickness? What are you looking at?
So is it brand? Do you look? Are you trying to order? Are you trying to order ribs in? Are you trying to figure out what people are doing in other
I think
states?
we're looking at brand. Like when
Yeah.
you go to the store, like it's like you're not going into trying to find whatever the cheapest
doing
meat
Smithville.
manufacturer or producer
How do
out
you
there.
know though?
Prairie Fresh is a huge one. A lot of
Prairie
competition
Fresh
guys
is
use
a
that.
good one that a lot of people go in there.
Smithfield Extra Tender. I love those.
What's
I
the
think
high
they're
rank
great.
Tyson one? I forget that one called.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
Tyson.
about?
Yeah.
Tyson makes like a higher grade
Yeah,
one, and
and
a lot of
maybe
people use
they're-
that
Like
in
a prime.
competitions. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure what it's called. I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
So yes, look for those styles of meat that are like the premium, the HEB like all natural premium type ribs that they put out
I
there.
kind of like those. I'm not
Super
gonna lie.
awesome.
I cook those all the time.
And it goes back to like John was saying. It's like, okay, so you're looking for marbling. You're looking for like, and when I say marbling, you're looking for like the meat to fat ratio, and then also you're looking for a kind of a thickness of the meat, because you don't want something super thin because it's just gonna
Yeah. Dry out.
it's gonna dry out.
Yeah.
It's gonna overcook. So you want something pretty meaty.
You don't want to be pulling off the bone too much. You got bone showing now.
Correct. Yeah. So and you want to look for it's like we talk about the fat striations. You want it to be nice and marbled. You want it to be nice and thick, even going across. I would stick personally if I'm doing competition. I'm sticking with just. I'll probably buy just the St. Louis style cut already. I won't go in and try to buy a spare rib and try to whatever. I think you kind of lose a little bit when you go to spare rib because those guys are just cut so thin. So sometimes you get like 2 to a pack or you get like just one spare rib and it's very thin. You're just like, okay, these look good, but like the ones we did is like past weekend, I think there was 2 to a pack. They looked good marbling wise. I think it was Smithfield. They looked beautiful. But you bust them out of the pack, and I mean, I'm talking like straight up just super thin, and then it kind of tapers up to a little bit bigger end. But
How was that rib?
The ones we had this past weekend?
Yeah.
Amazing. Did you cook that out of the rack?
it's frozen.
Okay. Yeah, the ones we did at the house were fantastic. What did we
They were
use on
good.
that?
They were really good. The seasoning was, I think I seasoned this actually, so
Yeah.
I should know this.
You should know this. Was it Chicks That Smoke?
I did chicks that smoke. What else? I did like two or three rubs.
Oh yeah, we did. Was it the Heath Riles Peach?
That's right. Heath Rawls peach, and then we did another rub.
Something else. Yep. Was that another Heath Riles rub?
No, it's somebody else's that sent us. Somebody sent us
Oh, it was Blazing Star.
Blazing Star. Yeah, the Reaper rub.
Yeah, we didn't use Chicks That Smoke on that. We used Blazing Star
Yeah,
Reaper
no,
rub.
I did. I
We
did. Yeah, I popped the little chicks that smoke.
Okay.
But the Reaper rub was.
That's good.
It's good.
Is it
The
really
Peach
spicy or
rub was
something?
good.
It's spicy.
It's got a
but
nice little kick to it.
It's just back end, right? And it finishes really fast.
But that sauce,
The sauce, dude.
Heath Riles,
yeah, that vinegar sauce, that vinegar and
tangy vinegar.
tanger. Yeah, dude, that just kind of hit. I liked it. On
We
the
were both
ribs.
like, I don't know about this,
Yeah.
and then I thought it was great.
It wasn't overly sweet.
Very
It did-
versatile
It definitely had a
sauce.
sweetness, right?
Yeah.
And when we wrapped, we put a little honey. We put the sweetness in there, a little brown sugar or whatever else. But when you hit with that sauce and it's set up, and when I first smelled, it, I was like, I don't know if that's
Yeah.
Did it end up being like a
Yeah,
more
yeah.
delicate kind of vinegar? Like it wasn't real heavy or anything like that?
Yeah, it was good.
It was kind of heavy on the front end.
But I mean, after
But
it's
when
set and everything.
No, perfect.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
there's
okay,
nothing. It
cool.
was just phenomenal. Well, it wasn't the best ribs I've ever done in my life, right? Or the best ribs I've ever had in my
Very
life.
versatile ribs, I think. Everybody would like them.
But I think it was a rib for everyone. I
Mm-hmm.
totally agree. I think you're not going to kick it out of bed. I think it was a good rib.
Get them out of bed, ribs.
Yeah, get out of my.
You're making a mess.
I'm going to eat you in a minute.
Leaving your sauce everywhere.
You got to go. It's not you, it's me.
That's fantastic.
Okay, so kind of just like wrapping it up, just
Ba-dum-tsh.
right. I'm trying to process and think. So obviously, in the beginning of the biggest key takeaway when you're selecting your ribs for competition and for the house itself, like you want to look for something that's really nice and marbled,
Yep.
I think that's number one.
but you don't want it like super just like fatty. Like, you know what
No.
I mean?
All white.
You want a
Correct.
you want a thick rib, right? You want an evenly rib, even thick from one end to the other end. Is what you're looking for. And if at the very end doesn't,
Right.
that's fine.
At
cut
least
it
in the
off.
middle bones.
Right, middle bones. Look for straightness,
Straight bones.
straight bones, and then
Look for an all natural product if you can get
that's
it.
right.
Right.
That's right.
Something that wasn't obviously previously frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just like not having like you want something raised. You want to make sure the pigs are being raised natural.
Yeah,
Not-
you want to. Yeah,
You don't want
to eat
you
happy
don't want
pigs.
a bunch of hormones. You don't want a bunch of antibiotics or whatever else. You want happy pigs. That's what you want.
Right. And so the
tastes
next
good.
next couple episodes, as we get into it, I know we'll get kind of squirrely, and we'll talk about some other stuff, whatever. But we'll dive into the actual
delve into
cooking
things.
process, and also some of the seasonings and stuff that we use, and the processes that we use as far as the injecting, the brining, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, anybody out there listening that's like doing competition ribs itself, it's like if you're not brining your ribs,
If you're not injecting your ribs, you're going to be losing more times than winning. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agree
and
with
we're
you
talking about
100%.
competition ribs, but honestly, if you're just doing backyard, you should be picking up some tips from this too, right?
That's right. So and we're going to get into cutting ribs and how to frame a rib. And I think it's very important. People don't sometimes they think they just have to cut and turn in, and like how to frame a rib. You might lose a couple of bones by doing this, or lose part of your rack. But we're going to go into how to frame these things and how to get the most out of every rack. It's coming here, grabbing a brisket.
You lead that episode.
Yeah, definitely do that. So I'm
I
telling
love
you, we have a whole lot. Like you think brisket was long? Wait till you get to ribs.
I don't think ribs will be
Yeah,
as
I
long
don't
as
think so.
brisket.
Join us next week when we talk about how the Civil War was won off of the import of pork and the
How to count each rib bone.
Yeah. I did. I was doing a lot of research last night, talking about just trying to come up with like different topics and stuff like that. And one of them that I came across was like the importance of the pork industry and how it like correlated with the Civil War and a lot of stuff that was going
gotta
on.
feed people, man.
The colonization of people moving from the colonies from the coast area to branching out, and pork was very huge in the would you say catalyst of, because it was something that could transport well, and it
That's right.
fed, and you were able to do, and it had a lot of byproducts that you can utilize as well.
Bacon.
With the lard, and
The best.
the fat, and greasing up all the wheels and shit like that. So
That's it.
that's another podcast for another day.
Yeah.
So
We should probably go ahead and put together a competition rib, or at least a rib video, start to finish. I know I put one out not that long ago, the spare ribs with the rib tips, and that's actually a pretty good video. Go check that out. But we should do a competition rib video for our YouTube.
right, let's
Yeah,
do
I
that.
think. Yeah.
Cool.
Anywho,
And that includes the barbecue portion of the podcast. So if you're just tuned in strictly for
barbecue portion.
We don't need a jingle for everything.
Do we think? Do we have any barbecue fails?
We do. We have barbecue fails. Are we ready for that? Coming up now?
Let's go, man. What do you got?
Up next on the Grabbing a Biscuit podcast,
Grab the biscuit.
barbecue fails.
It's very Catholic.
Yes. All
It
right.
needs to be the new like sound now.
right.
I have a couple of them here. This is one we got called in. Actually, just got this one in today, and I'm gonna play it for you. But if you're watching on YouTube, there is a little video to go along with it. But yeah, listen up.
Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Mike with That Dude Barbecue. My barbecue fail was I was doing an overnight brisket about 2 weeks ago. I wake up and I go check the temperature of my brisket. This brisket says it's 100 degrees. I'm like, what the hell? Why my brisket 100 degrees? I go
Cooked
out
it all night.
and I panic. And with the pen, it says it's 215 degrees. I go back and check. I'm like, why is the thing saying it's 100 degrees? Man, y'all, this brisket says 100 degrees Celsius. I don't know how the hell I set my brisket or my gauge to
That
Celsius.
sucks.
But in my drunken demeanor, thank you TX Whiskey and Lone Star Beer.
What's this guy's
I
name?
drunkenly set it to Celsius. I don't even know how the hell I did it, but I did it. But yeah, my brisket was 212 degrees.
Shit.
And I don't know how long it was set for that
Man, he
long.
boiled the.
But
But if it was on
yeah.
Celsius, I'd still be
So
cooking that
this brisket was
motherfucker.
was harder than concrete. And I'll send y'all the video
Let's
for how
go.
this thing was. It
I
was
love this.
god awful.
Hey,
God help me.
hey,
I can say that
God
bark,
will
bark
help you.
looked killer.
Yeah.
Hey, the bark looks
Right.
money.
Right.
When he sat it down, I'm like, hey, it looks pretty good. And he's like sawing.
You guys have to watch this video.
What's-
And
what's
the
his
only
name?
thing better than him sawing through this thing is him fighting with his tripod throughout the video. You keep seeing him fall over. I was cracking up.
What's
watching
this
this
dude's
thing.
name?
This is Mike.
Mike.
And he is
Michael.
with at that dude BBQ on Twitter. So go check him out. That dude.
Nice.
That dude barbecue.
Love that.
Mike, you just won yourself some Suckabusters. Everybody wants some Suckabusters. Dude, way to
Crack
go,
me
man.
up. He's just sawing on this thing.
Yeah,
If you're not watching,
he's just
it's just
turning on it. Like it's like sawdust. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like 100 degrees. And when you see the brisket, you're like, that's not 100 degrees.
it looked good. I was like, this
It
thing
looks-
looks good.
yeah, it looks
Celsius,
delicious.
I've
yeah.
totally done that too, though. By the way, like I had
Celsius?
my pen was accidentally on Celsius, and I'm probing like, the hell, man,
This is not right.
This chicken is taking forever. Like it does not look like it's that. And I'm like, oh yeah. Like after I just burned the hell out of it.
Damn.
Yeah, but you could tell because he only he only sawed like 3 or 4 slices, and then you could tell he's just like, fuck this shit, and turn the camera off.
Like chopped beef, something.
I was really hoping for like an office like space moment where
Him just punching
just
it in a
like
field.
start just take it out to a field and start punching it, just like
Stomp on it.
right.
It's a
I
good
got
TikTok idea, James.
one more here, and this is this wasn't even really sent to us as much as this video was sent to me, and I saw it posted on Facebook. But it's kind of barbecue related because there's a cow in the video.
Let's see.
And this is actually my brother, so if I have a chance to embarrass my brother, I have
Justin?
to. Yeah,
Okay.
this is
Justin.
fantastic. 'Cause
Let's go,
he does
Justin.
have a ranch or he has cattle,
You got a
whatever.
farm.
Yeah,
Got a farm.
he's the big guy there. He fell in the cow shit.
Justin, replay that again real quick.
One more time for the
Just so
fans
we
at
can
home.
see it.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Justin.
he's a big guy, the bald guy with the giant beard.
Yeah,
Looks
let's
like
go.
Duck Dynasty over here.
Let's just go.
Hey. Oh yeah, he's rolled right into it. Oh,
He's got stinky poo all over
The
him.
cows are.
Hey, Suckabusters. Everybody wants some Suckabusters.
Yeah, Justin, we'll send you
Justin?
some chicks to smoke.
You getting some chicks that smoke, brother. We got you one.
But he has had a couple of his cows already butchered, so he's got a freezer full of meat.
I bet he does.
go out
probably
there and
butchered
cook
that one
something.
right now. Right after that
then,
video.
You're done.
It's like, we're eating veal tonight.
Yeah, who wants veal?
I love that.
I couldn't help it. I had to share that with you guys. I was just freaking dying.
That's hilarious.
Justin, hey, I know the soil is probably pretty loose that contributed to you losing your balance.
Yeah.
I apologize.
It's not
for
your
John.
fault. It's not your fault, Justin. What's the calf's name? Hey, what's the calf's name? Did you name-
Ground beef.
Yeah, right.
Did y'all name him, or you already eat
Yeah,
him?
they call him dinner.
Yeah. All right.
Man, guys, this has been another awesome episode of Grabbing the Brisket.
Yeah.
I enjoy getting together with you guys and just talking barbecue with you guys.
Tune in.
Absolutely.
Tune in, stick out, and
Smoke on.
smoke on.
Yeah.
We
Peace.
appreciate you.
Thanks everybody. We've been great.
Dang it, Bobby. Just grab the brisket. We'd like to give a special thanks to Sucklebusters Barbecue Rubs and Sauces, Bonner's Fiesta Spices, Cooley Nation Custom Koozies, Cambro Manufacturing, Yeti Coolers, the Smoke Sheep Barbecue Newsletter, and Dow Strong Knives. We definitely appreciate your support.